Hey everyone, and welcome back to Speak Smart. I'm Jane, and I'm super excited to be here with my co-host today. Lucy, how are you doing?
Hi, Jane. I'm great, thanks. So happy to be back. And our topic today is making me dream of my next vacation already.
Me too. We're talking about my daily routine on vacation for beginners learning travel English. It's such a practical topic because when you're traveling, you're constantly talking about what you're doing, where you're going, what you need. It's daily life, but in a new place.
Absolutely, and it's not just about asking for directions or ordering food. It's also about describing your experiences, sharing your day with fellow travelers, or even just journaling in English. It makes the trip so much richer.
Exactly. So let's dive right in. Lucy, what's your typical morning routine like when you're on vacation? Are you an early bird or do you sleep in?
Oh, that's a good question. It really depends on the type of vacation. If I'm on a city break, I tend to wake up a bit earlier, around 7 or 7:30 a.m. I don't want to miss anything. But if I'm somewhere relaxing like a beach vacation, I definitely sleep in, maybe until 9 a.m. What about you?
I'm a bit similar. If it's a city, I'm up early, like 7 a.m. The first thing I do is usually check my phone for any messages or a quick look at the weather forecast. Then I head to the bathroom to wash my face and brush my teeth. Simple, everyday stuff, but important to know in English.
Right. So, wake up, check my phone, wash my face, brush my teeth. These are all great phrases for beginners. After that, what's next for you, Jane? Are you straight out the door or do you take your time?
Oh, I definitely need breakfast. I usually get dressed first. Then I go down for breakfast. I love hotel breakfasts because there's usually a buffet. I'll say something like, "Good morning. Can I get a coffee, please? Or could I have some eggs?" It's a great way to practice simple, polite requests.
Yes, breakfast is key. For me, I usually have coffee and some fruit, maybe a pastry. And if I'm in a new country, I love trying the local breakfast. Like in Japan, a traditional breakfast is completely different from what we have. It's fun to say, "I'd like to try the local specialty, please."
That's a fantastic phrase. I'd like to try the local specialty. So useful. After breakfast, do you have a plan or are you more spontaneous?
A bit of both, actually. Before I leave the hotel room, I usually check a map or my travel app to see what's nearby. I might say, "What are the main attractions around here?" Or, "Is there a museum close by?" I also make sure I have my camera, wallet, and a bottle of water. Essential items.
Those are great phrases. What are the main attractions and is there a museum close by? Perfect for asking for recommendations. And having water is so important, especially when you're walking a lot.
Absolutely. Then it's time to head out. I usually walk if things are close, or I might take public transport. I'd ask, "Where is the nearest bus stop?" Or, "How do I get to the city center by train?"
And it's always good to know how much is a ticket, right? You don't want to get caught without the right fare. So, you're out exploring. What's a typical activity for you in the late morning?
In the late morning, I love to visit a landmark, maybe a famous building, a park, or a historical site. I might take photos or just sit and observe people. I often think, "This is beautiful," or "What a lovely view." And sometimes I'll buy a souvenir. I'd ask, "How much does this cost?" Or, "Do you have this in a smaller size?"
Those are fantastic phrases for shopping. How much does this cost? And do you have this in a smaller size? Are super practical. I love visiting local markets too, to see local life and try street food. I'd ask, "What is this dish?" Or "Is it spicy?"
Oh, "Is it spicy?" is essential for me, because I can't handle too much spice. That's a great one. So, by now it's probably lunchtime. How do you usually handle lunch on vacation?
Lunch is usually something quick and casual. I might find a nice cafe or a small restaurant. I'll look at the menu and ask, "What do you recommend?" Or "Can I have the soup of the day?" Sometimes I just grab a sandwich or a salad to go if I want to maximize my sightseeing time.
Yes, "What do you recommend?" is really helpful, especially when you're unsure. I often try to find places away from the main tourist areas, where the locals eat. The food is usually better and cheaper. I might ask a local, "Where is a good place to eat around here?"
That's a pro tip right there, Lucy. Asking locals is always the best way to find hidden gems, and you get to practice your English with native speakers. So, after lunch, What's your typical afternoon look like?
In the afternoon, I usually pick another main activity, maybe a museum visit or a boat trip if I'm by the water. I'd buy tickets, so phrases like, 2 tickets for the museum, please, or, what time is the next boat trip, are really useful.
And remember to ask, is there a student discount or is there a senior discount? You never know, you might save some money. I often find myself wandering through different neighborhoods in the afternoon, just getting a feel for the city. I might stop for a coffee or an ice cream to recharge.
Oh, an ice cream stop is crucial, especially in warmer climates, and it's another chance to practice ordering. A chocolate ice cream, please, or can I have 2 scoops? Simple but effective.
Definitely. As the afternoon winds down, I usually start thinking about heading back to the hotel. I might need to ask, where is the nearest metro station, or can you call a taxi for me if I'm tired?
Those are very practical phrases for getting around, and it's good to know how long does it take to get back so you can plan your time. Once I'm back at the hotel, I usually take a quick shower and relax for a bit before dinner.
Me too. It's nice to freshen up and change into something more comfortable for the evening. Then, it's dinner time. This is often the main meal for me on vacation. I like to try a nicer restaurant in the evening.
Agreed, dinner is a highlight. I'd typically call ahead to make a reservation. I'd like to book a table for 2 tonight at 7 p.m., please. Or if I'm walking in, a table for 2, please.
That's a super important one. I'd like to book a table. And when you're there, can I see the menu, or do you have any vegetarian options? Are good to know. I also love to pair my meal with a local drink, maybe a glass of wine or a local beer.
Yes, do you have any vegetarian options is essential for many people, including myself sometimes. And for drinks, you can ask, what local wines do you recommend? Or, can I get a glass of water, please? Very simple, but makes a big difference.
Absolutely. After dinner, what's your ideal evening activity, Lucy? Are you a night owl, or do you prefer an early night?
It depends on how tired I am from the day's activities. If I have energy, I might go for a walk, or find a local bar for a drink, or maybe see a show. I'd ask, is there any live music nearby? Or, what's showing at the theater tonight?
Those are great questions for finding entertainment. I'm usually pretty tired by then, so I might just take a leisurely stroll, or find a nice spot to sit and people watch. Sometimes I'll grab a dessert from a local bakery to enjoy back at the hotel.
Oh, a late-night dessert. That's a good idea. And again, another chance to practice ordering. 1 slice of cake, please, or could I have some gelato?
Definitely. Then, it's back to the hotel. I usually unpack my day bag, maybe jot down a few notes about my day in a travel journal, which is great for practicing written English too.
That's a brilliant idea, Jane. Reflecting on your day in English helps solidify those new words and phrases. I usually set my alarm for the next morning, charge my phone, and then unwind with a book or some music before falling asleep. I might think, what an amazing day, or I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Those are perfect internal thoughts to practice. And then, it's lights out. Ready to repeat a modified version of that routine the next day. It really shows how many common phrases we use just to get through a basic day on vacation.
It really does. And for our beginner listeners, the key is not to be afraid to use these phrases. Start with simple sentences. People appreciate the effort, even if your English isn't perfect.
That's so true, Lucy. Don't worry about making mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. The goal is to communicate and to learn. The more you speak, the more confident you'll become.
Exactly. Try to learn a few key phrases before you go. Hello, thank you, excuse me, sorry, how much, where is? These basic phrases open so many doors.
And remember to listen. Pay attention to how native speakers respond. You'll pick up on new vocabulary and pronunciation naturally. You could even watch some travel vlogs in English before your trip to get familiar with the language in a travel context.
That's a great tip, Jane. Immersion, even if it's just through videos, can really help. And don't forget to smile. A smile is universal and can help bridge any language gap.
Absolutely. So, to recap some of our key phrases for a daily routine on vacation, I wake up at, I have breakfast, I get dressed, where is the nearest Nerpinia? How much does this cost? Can I have? What do you recommend? I'd like to book a table and thank you.
Yes, those are fantastic starting points. Practice them, use them, and enjoy your travels. Learning a language is an adventure in itself, just like exploring a new city.
What a perfect way to put it, Lucy. And remember, Every little conversation is a step forward in your English learning journey. Don't be afraid to engage with people and embrace the experience.
Indeed. So we hope this episode gave you some useful phrases and confidence for your next vacation. Keep practicing, keep speaking smart.
That's all for today's episode of Speak Smart. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time. Happy travels!
Bye, everyone. Safe travels and happy learning.